not being braces yet, so let's jump straight into this. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Morning, Ina. Good morning. Is Shara here already? Yes, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognised as members of the Braces Guild. Good luck, both of you. Thanks. We'll do our best. The Star and the Hanged Man, the Hermit and the Magician, and last of all, Inversion through the Wheel of Fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning, Shara. Oh, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua. This is a rare occasion for both of you to show up so early. Since it's the last day of training, I figured, why not? We're ready to get this show on the road and become braces myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm, but I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you. Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of keeping some of the information in your head instead of letting it dribble out of your ears like it usually does. Ah, Joshua! Shara's picking on me. Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acting rashly and overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything, her instincts are pretty sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use some of the ordnance with some practice, eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do except hope for the best. Hold on a second, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling you won't stand up to me then. Well, that's odd. I'm positive I've described all your best traits accurate. Whatever. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? I was just trying to get a vague reason on what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? Now that is surprising to hear. Actually more profound the meaning of the cards. The more difficult they are to interpret, but that's not important now. I think it's time we start your trial training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we've covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level of knowledge that a bracer should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. What would you like to know about? I was actually hoping for an option to just skip this bit, because although I don't necessarily recall every aspect of it, I kind of like figuring it out as I go. Ordnance are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbal energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on the structure and the type of quartz or processed septium installed. Although it has only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, and from lights, heaters, and other everyday products to weapon, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as Orb Revolution. That's all. Let's see. Since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Oh, Shara. How is today's practical training any different from the training you've done before? Since it's practical, that means you'll be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything as if it was a real bracer job. So what you're saying is there won't be any studying at the desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure to have you work up a sweat, so let's hope you're ready. Yes, that's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I didn't know what I was going to do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at the desk. I guess I got all worried over nothing. Well, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful still. Let's just hope that smiles on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on with your first objective, shall we? Let's have it all. Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you'll be performing. But before that, there's something that we need to give you both. Are they ready? Yes, they are. Alright, you two, go get one for each of yourselves. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. You received Bracer's notebook. Bracer notebooks serve as an official way to record the status of your current job. Also, anything you may hear or anything that you may find and where. These kinds of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Crap, that sounds like we're going to be a lot of that's crap, this sounds like it's going to be pain. Oh, please tell me my ears were playing tricks on me, because I swear I only heard one response. Oh yeah, I'm sure there were two. Keep an accurate account of events. It is an important duty for all bracers. So get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door and you'll see there's a bulletin board standing there. First, I want you to go check the job description posted there. When the bulletin board is approached, an exclamation mark will appear. Press the OK button. Pressing the OK button will display the job list. By selecting the job name on the list, you can review their details. So the client is Shirazad. It pays 500 Mira. It's direct request, so I'm assuming that means we need to talk to her. This training will involve searching the sewers beneath Roland and bring back the content of the chest. We need to see Shirazad for details. Details of the job confirmed on the bulletin board and other important events will be automatically recorded in the Bracer notebook. The Bracer notebook can be easily found by clicking on the Book tab of the item menu. It can also be accessed by configuring a Bracer book shortcut on the configuration menu. Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions of a Bracer that performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for the Bracer. And all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there's a lot of rules to follow, but an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a Bracer calls for much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I'll just have to be more motivated. Sorry, I was just confused by the fact that it says, is that so? I'm assuming that's meant to be, is that so? Has it changed the heart of you? You betcha. But before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What we'll be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behaviour. Okay. Here's where you learn about how to use Orbital factory services. At the Orbital factory, you can modify your orbments and synthesize support quartz in order to use orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects and can be mastered, and if mastered, can be extremely helpful. The bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the guild has had a long-standing relationship with these orbital factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here. No problem. Leave everything to me. So, what is it that you two would like to learn about? Sepith. Sepith is fragments of septum which are dropped by monsters. They are divided into 7 types: earth, water, fire, wind, time, space, mirage. Sepith can be exchanged for mirror almost anywhere, but at an orbital factory you can use it to synthesize quartz and to open orbment slots in which to install synthesized quartz. So what is it that you would like to know? So I've just had a bit of a tickle in my throat most of the weekend. For that, you'll need to have some Sepith. Receive several types of each elemental Sepith. With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now, I want you to both begin by first making elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular ornaments. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay. For you, Joshua, it has to be time elemental quartz. Normally, at a shop, you wouldn't be able to exchange Sepith for mirror, but for this, you would be able to exchange Sepith for mirror. But for this training, you will not be able to use that service. Upon approaching the counter, a talk marker will appear. Press an OK button will display a list of options. Select Modify or Trade to use the Orbital Factory service. Oh, good work so far. You need to select the other person. Modify and Trade. Select quartz. So that's the time one, so we'll pick up that quickly for Joshua. And I'll pick up an earth one and defense for Estelle. So I can make each. So as we can see, the earth elemental defense +1 gives us +5 defense. The water elemental gives us the +5 maximum hit points. Fire gives us +5 strength but -5 defense. Wind gives us +1 agility, and time element gives us +10 speed %. I just spent all my Sepith into people. I don't think I had enough. I only had 20 of each, so that's not enough to do any of that. Sorry, I should have read that out. Essentially, it's asking us to equip, quartz can be installed in the orbment screen. The orbment screen can be utilised by selecting the orbment tab in the main menu. So go there. So I'll give her the stone one to increase her defense. And I will give... I don't get the option, I need to give Joshua the speed increase. Actually, I'm off to a quick look at her. I'm actually off to give her the HP increase instead, because I believe that's an extra 5 hit points rather than 1 point of defense. And I have a sneaky feeling that gives me access to healing magic, which I think is what Tear is. I could be very much wrong. I'm working on lots of old information now. Alright, it looks like you both recover an attack arts setup. If you balance your arts out between each other like you have done, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Basically, your Bracer notebooks contain information about which quartz allows you to use which arts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz charts in your Bracer notebooks and find something that works for you. Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have one of you open a new slot in your orb. The more slots you have available, the broader range of choice you'll have. Since EP is what is consumed by using arts, can it have its max value increased by opening slots? It would be a good idea to open them all early on. Now I want you to use this Sepith and open a slot on each of your orbs. Go ahead and decide which slots you're going to open. Receive several types of each elemental Sepith. So let's talk to you again, modify. So this is now where we get 36 quartz. Estelle, we will open that one. So we can't open it anymore. Estelle, I'm to guess that Joshua's... Oh no, it's only Estelle we can open up. Fair enough. So what we'll do now is go to here, go to Estelle, go to Clark, and we will actually give her the defense that I was thinking of doing initially. I see you've managed to open up one of your orb slots, Estelle. Since your central slot is not limited to any particular element, you are free to install any type of quartz you like. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it is time to move on to what you've both been waiting for, the qualification test. Pardon? Did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me that you've forgotten about the testing again, can you? Didn't I remind you of that? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild and humanity. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like now? I don't know if I'm ready for... How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? Joshua, help me! Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help. Don't mention it, I'm good with that test of yours. I know, right? I'm going to remember that you left behind dry like this, Joshua. All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned up to this point. Understood. Hmm? What's wrong, Estelle? Sure. What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test or something? Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what I said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and I even made you jot down all you read in your Bracer notebooks. Unless you've got that too. pretty sure the job will mentioned searching for and retrieving an item in the sewers. Ringing any bells yet? What a relief. Oh, divine adios. I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such a wonderful gift as the sewers. So, what you're really saying is you thought it was going to be a paper test. No wonder you're acting crazy back at the Orbital factory. Thank you very much. This is the first time I've ever really put any effort into playing any of the Trails series. So I am very much looking forward to playing it for the first time through, potentially with followers and people enjoying it as well. I can really feel the nostalgia. All those whole days stuck in the classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if we'll ever be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test, so how about you both try at least to look a little more anxious? Just so you know though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine what kind of homework I'll have in store for both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us that you want us to do and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident, then how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in the Roland sewers. Your first objective, your objective is to retrieve contents of a chest which has been placed somewhere within the area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real living, breathing monsters down there, so if you get careless and let your guard down, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. We received 3 tear balms and a monster guide. What's this book for? It's called a monster guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in there. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You've really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. That's pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara. We'll put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such. So now in the sewers, and we don't have the ability to change the camera around. There appears to be a recovery point over there, or setup over there. Let's use it if our HP and EP become low before engaging any further battles. All charging stations are recovery points that set up in dangerous areas. As a recovery point is approached, an exclamation mark will appear and 2 choices will be displayed by pressing the OK button. By selecting the rest option, all HP and EP will be restored. Sounds like a plan to me. So we've got the option of rest or leave. Monster at 12 o'clock. Be careful not to let them take advantage on your blind side. Got it. Monsters cannot be seen from far away. They will become visible as you approach them. The conditions at the start of the battle will change depending on how a monster is engaged. Engaging an enemy from behind is advantageous, while being attacked by an enemy from behind is disadvantageous. Battle Order bar indicates who attacks first, starts from the top and moves down. Attack. Attack an enemy. You may also use it to move if you are using a mouse click on an empty location. The highlighted area indicates the distance the character can move. Selecting a target in this area will move the character to attack. When the enemy is out of range, that icon appears. On your cursor, selecting an out of range target will move the character as close as possible, but will perform no attack action. So couldn't reach him that time. Get as close as you can hit it. And, I was about to say, how's that pushback actually made it so Stell couldn't reach, but she won't be able to reach anyway, I don't think.
That's that then. Let's move out.
So we've got 10 XP, we've got 4 Earth, 2 Fire, and 2 Gold, Cephis. And we've got 2 Juicy Bones. So this is what it's referring to when it's about looking into other moves, other orbital arts. I found this quite long, but I won't lie. It gives you the information about the different things. I'll just have a quick flip through now. I'll probably come back to it at a later date when I have more of a need to look at it. So that gives you a little bit of information about pay parameters, and I'm assuming different levels, which I'm assuming will all become more relevant later on. It gives us, I'm assuming that's a key reference for when we look at the map.